Even after losing 30 pounds, I was not eating as healthy as I would like to think. Society and the fitness gurus tell us to consume protein powder and to drink all of these energy drinks, and I was doing just that, and I was still sluggish. I was still overweight. Even though I had lost weight, I was still overweight. I was still inflamed, and I had no idea why, because I was eating all the things that I thought I should be eating. I thought that I was healthy, and I thought that I was at a good weight, even though I was still insecure after losing a good amount of weight. I thought that I was at a decent size, and then I started changing my habits even more. I stopped eating fake healthy foods. I stopped drinking fake healthy drinks, and I saw my body transform. I started eating more raw fruits. I started eating more raw vegetables. I started consuming more water and more smoothies, and I saw everything change in my body. And if you're new here, my name is Ramani. I am a personal trainer, I'm a yoga instructor, and I'm a wellness advocate who loves teaching women that health doesn't have to be difficult. Being healthy doesn't have to be as hard as we've been taught to believe. So today I want to talk about some substitutes that you can start incorporating in your everyday life. Before I talk about any substitutes, I definitely think that it's worth noting sometimes you don't need to substitute things. I think that a lot of people coddle themselves when it comes to being healthy, and I definitely think that going slowly into your health journey can make it easier and more sustainable, but there are some times where you just need to be real with yourself. So I'm gonna be honest, there are some substitutes that I can't even help you with, because for me, the type of person that I am, when I put my mind to something, I'm going all in. So I can't help you substitute a burger from McDonald's or a burger from Burger King. Like, some of those things you just need to stop eating and stop wanting your body to crave those things. When you are constantly substituting unhealthy food, well, I won't even say when you are trying to substitute. When you are trying to replicate unhealthy food, you are still wiring your body to want that unhealthy food. Stop. Stop. You don't need it. Now, quite naturally, there are some things that we are just going to want to substitute, but there are some things that you know you shouldn't be eating. You don't need to try to replicate pork chops. Just stop eating pork chops. Just literally just stop. And only you're gonna know what those things are for you. I know when I first started my weight loss journey, I was very big on drinking pop. I was literally a Mountain Dew addict. But when I realized that I wanted to become healthy and I realized that I wanted to start losing weight, I wasn't like, let me start drinking sparkling water. I said, let me start drinking only water. Until this day, I really only drink water unless a brand sends me a sparkling water or some type of energy drink. And even then, I drink those very lightly, maybe like once a month. I am not big on drinking things other than water and tea. If you know me personally, you know that I am drinking tea all throughout the day. I'm drinking water all throughout the day. Even if I do go eat at a restaurant, since I don't drink alcohol, I am literally drinking water at the restaurant unless I just happen to decide that I want a ginger ale. But other than that, I am not drinking carbonated drinks. When I gave up pop and I gave up Mountain Dew and Dr. Pepper and Pepsi, I wasn't thinking, let me find a substitute for this. I said, this is unhealthy. Let me stop even wiring my body to want this sugar. Okay, I know I just went kind of hard and I was on my soapbox, but I get really passionate when it comes to eating healthy. But let's get into why you're actually here, the substitution. All right, I know that protein is being talked about a lot, and the girls are like, I need a high protein diet. A lot of people don't realize why they need a high protein diet. When you consume a lot of protein, your body is basically going to burn off more fat because you're going to be putting on more muscle. In a lot of videos that I see, the main source of protein is always a protein powder or a large amount of meat, a large amount of steak, chicken, fish, you name it. Now, I'm not saying that you can't eat these things, but there are some healthier alternatives. I do still eat meat occasionally. I don't eat red meat, but I just started incorporating chicken back into my diet. Not a lot, maybe like once a month, but I am a seafood girly. I do eat a lot of seafood. Now, protein powders, I do not consume protein powders. And people always ask me how I am able to get protein in the smoothies that I post on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. My biggest protein sources are seeds and nuts when it comes to my smoothies and my protein shakes. So I stopped using protein powder maybe 2 years ago. I love hemp seeds. I love chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, and then as far as nuts, I really like almonds. Now, I eat a variety of nuts. I always get a mixed nut type of container, and it has hazelnuts, pistachios, walnuts, almonds, and cashews. But as far as going in my smoothies, I always like to use raw almonds. And just like you use almond milk, you can put almonds in your smoothie. You do want to blend it up very fine so that you don't have a super chunky protein shake or smoothie, but you can put nuts and seeds in your smoothie. Also, oats. Oats is a very big protein source for me. I love making overnight oats, and I'll put chia seeds, hemp seeds, oats, almond milk, and some fruit and cinnamon and honey in my overnight oats, and I will eat them that way, and it'll literally give me over 20 grams of protein. And you can always check the protein by looking at the back of whatever you're eating, and it's going to give you the protein content. Typically, I like to eat anything that has over 6 grams of protein per serving. I know you're probably thinking, why can't I consume protein powder? Protein powder is processed, and protein powder contains a lot of sodium, it contains a lot of sugar, and typically you can only have a little bit before your stomach starts to get upset. I don't know if you've noticed, if you have a lot of protein powder, like if you are trying to really bulk up and you're trying to get your protein intake in, and you start putting hella servings of protein powder in your smoothies, you are going to have diarrhea and or constipation. And the more that you are consuming fake healthy foods, the more your body is going to crave fake healthy foods. The more that you are consuming sugar, the more your body is going to crave sugar. So when people are asking me about cravings and they're like, oh my God, I always have these cravings. You always have these cravings because you are eating things that cause you to have these cravings. Okay, somebody also asked me for milk or dairy alternatives. There are so many milk alternatives. I was just gifted by a brand some chia milk. I didn't even know they was making chia milk, but chia milk, oat milk, almond milk. I recently saw walnut milk at Whole Foods. Now, I will say I am not a Whole Foods girly. I am more of a Trader Joe's girly. It just fits in my budget a little bit more. But if you got the coins for Whole Foods, they have walnut milk there. Just go in the store and look around, see what you find. And if you like yogurt, I just saw at Trader Joe's, they have like coconut milk yogurt. Since a lot of people are getting off of dairy, the companies are making a lot of dairy-free alternatives. I also got a comment on YouTube asking about substitutes for eggs. She said that, a lot of people eat eggs for breakfast, but she just does not eat eggs. I also do not eat eggs. Now, I'm not bent out of shape about it as like, I don't eat eggs, but I just simply do not buy eggs, and I don't cook eggs for myself. If somebody else is cooking or making me breakfast, I don't mind eating them eggs, but I'm just not making them for myself. So you don't really have to worry if you don't eat eggs. Personally, I don't even eat my first meal until noon or like 12:30, and it's not by design, like it's not on purpose. I literally just wake up and I be having things to do in the morning. Y'all know I gotta do my morning routine. I have to journal. I have to like walk 5 miles. I gotta get my 10K steps in, and then I work out, and then I'm drinking tea and water throughout the morning. So I don't even think about eating until noon. So I'm not about to make myself no eggs at noon. So my first meal is typically overnight oats or my protein smoothie. So don't think that you have to have eggs just because everybody else is having eggs. It really doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. All that matters is you and your body. If you want to eat salmon and potatoes at noon, then eat that, but you don't need to have eggs just because everybody else is having eggs in the morning. So I don't really have any substitutes for eggs. I would just say eat something different. I know that they do have vegan eggs, and it's called Just Egg, and it comes in a bottle. I did try it a few years ago, back before I started substituting things and like getting the fake healthy foods out of my life. I was eating Just Egg. Well, I won't say I was eating, but I tried it. I tried Just Egg. Personally, I just can't get with it because it's egg in a bottle and it's still processed. We don't know what it is. I just be good on all the fake healthy stuff. I don't want the Just Egg. I don't want the Impossible meat. I don't want nothing that I just don't know where it comes from. I am very big now on whole foods. I want my food to have one ingredient. If we are eating salmon, that is the ingredient. If we eating a bell pepper, that is the ingredient. Like, I am over eating foods that have 50 million ingredients. It just don't even be that serious. Now, as far as substituting snacks, it can go a few different ways. I love to tell people snack on fruit. I don't really eat snacks throughout the day because my protein smoothies really fill me up and they satisfy any sweet cravings that I may have had, because I do use a lot of sweet fruit like mangoes, strawberries, pineapples, oranges. And then throughout the day, if I do just want to crunch on something, I always have those mixed nuts that I told y'all about that comes in the container. But I'm not going to sit here and act like I never eat snacks because y'all know that would be a lie. Y'all know I do not deprive myself, especially around the time of my cycle, which is probably like in a few days, because girl, I have been wanting hot Cheetos so bad. If you're new here, I crave hot Cheetos around my period, and I don't deny myself those hot Cheetos. Now, I'm not about to overdo it and eat them every single day, but I will say I had some last night and I had some 2 days ago, and that's probably gonna be it for me. So if you do want your snacks, just have your snack and then let that be it. Like hot Cheetos are probably not gonna see me for another 4 to 5 weeks. And if I do get to craving something, again, I'm going to have my nuts, I'm going to have my smoothies. I do like making plantains too. I love fried plantains, well, air fried plantains. I love them from Trader Joe's. I get the little frozen pack, and that really satisfies my sweet tooth. And then I also bought some chocolate covered strawberries, some frozen chocolate covered strawberries from Sam's Club, and that also satisfied my sweet tooth. So I really just want you to examine the snacks that you're already eating and think, okay, how can I dial it back and eat something a little bit healthier? So I really like sweets. I'm not even gonna play like I don't like sweets. I love cakes and I love cupcakes because I love the sweetness of them. So that's why plantains really help me out a lot, because once they get fried, they're kind of like doughy in a sense, and it reminds me of that. And it's just a fruit, it's just an air fried fruit that I'm putting in the air fryer. And I really do like chocolate too, so that's why the chocolate covered strawberries were good for me, because the strawberry is a fruit and then the chocolate, it wasn't that bad because I didn't have too many of them. And dark chocolate is pretty good. You can have trail mix. Really go like search around and look for the things that remind you of what you've been eating. And then somebody else also asked me an alternative for fried food. Sister, I don't know what to tell you. Baked food, like baked or grilled food. Stop deep frying your food. Or you can also use an air fryer. And an air fryer literally doesn't have to be expensive. I got my air fryer for $30 from Target back when we used to shop at Target back in the day, child. I mean, it was last year, but it was $30. So if you don't have an air fryer can be really good to start working on your health journey and not eating those deep fried foods that you've been eating. And I said this in another video before, also swapping your sides out with raw vegetables is going to change your life. That is what I started doing in 2023, and that is what literally changed my life. Now when I eat, like typically I would eat salmon, rice, steamed broccoli or something like that, and that's a good meal. But when I started eating salmon, raw bell peppers, raw cucumbers, raw avocado, that's actually what I had last night. When I started eating that, everything changed, no more inflammation, and it made me start looking into what raw vegetables and raw fruits are doing for people. So you might want to look that up too, because you will find a lot of videos about people changing their lives just by eating raw fruits and vegetables. If this video helps you learn anything new, make sure you leave me a brown heart in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed it. And if you like videos like this, I have an entire weight loss playlist down below. I'm gonna link it down below. You can watch all of my videos where I just talk about fitness and health and weight loss and all the things. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and I'm gonna see you in my next video.